Chapter 13 of the Book of Revelation is one of the most symbolic and intriguing in the Bible, and its interpretation has generated various theories throughout history. It describes the emergence of two beasts that represent evil powers opposing God and persecuting His people in the last days. The first beast, emerging from the sea. At the beginning of the chapter, John sees a beast emerging from the sea. It has 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads and 10 horns symbolize power and authority. The 7 heads are often interpreted as 7 mountains, alluding to the city of Rome, built on 7 hills, or 7 kings or empires that oppose God throughout history, such as Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Imperial Rome, and a 7th that would manifest at the end times. The 10 horns can represent the totality of world governments and powers. Body like a leopard, feet like a bear, and mouth like a lion. These characteristics allude to the beasts described in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, which represented Babylonian, Medo-Persian, and Greek empires. This suggests that the beast of Revelation incorporates the ferocity, cunning, and power of these previous empires, being a synthesis of the worst aspects of world powers opposing God. Receives power of throne and great authority from the dragon. The dragon is identified as Satan, Revelation 12:9. This indicates that the beast is driven and strengthened by the devil himself, acting as his agent on earth. One of its heads seemed to have a fatal wound, but it was healed. This may symbolize a power that suffered a great defeat, but recovers and returns even stronger, surprising the world and leading it to admire and worship the beast. Utters blasphemies against God. The beast speaks arrogantly and blasphemously against God, His name, and His dwelling place, and against those who dwell in heaven. Wages war against the saints. It persecutes and oppresses God's people. Receives authority to act for 42 months, 3.5 years. This period is symbolic and appears in other prophetic passages, indicating a time of great tribulation and persecution for the faithful. All the earth will worship it, except those whose names are written in the book of life. This points to a global deception, where most of humanity will submit to the beast's authority and influence, but true followers of God will resist. This first beast is widely interpreted as a political power and/or a world system that opposes God and seeks to dominate humanity, demanding worship and loyalty. It is often associated with the concept of the Antichrist, a figure who will imitate Jesus and deceive many. The second beast emerging from the earth. Next, John sees a second beast emerging from the earth. It has distinct characteristics. 2 horns like a lamb. The appearance of a lamb might suggest something harmless, peaceful, and even religious. However, the lamb in the Bible is often a reference to Jesus Christ. The resemblance to a lamb may indicate an imitation, a deception, something that looks good but is not. Speaks like a dragon. Despite its lamb-like appearance, its voice is like that of the dragon, Satan, revealing its true nature and the origin of its authority. Exercises all the authority of the first beast. It acts on behalf of the first beast, directing worship to it. This indicates an alliance between the two powers. Performs great signs and wonders. This beast has the ability to perform miracles, including making fire come down from heaven to deceive humanity. This makes it convincing and seductive to those who lack spiritual discernment. Deceives the inhabitants of the earth by means of these signs. Its miracles are used to persuade people to make an image to the first beast and worship it. Causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. This is the famous mark of the beast. Without this mark, no one can buy or sell. The number of its name is 666. This is one of the most enigmatic and debated symbols in Revelation. The number 6 in the Bible is often associated with imperfection and humanity, in contrast to 7, which symbolizes divine perfection. The repetition of 666, emphasizes the imperfection, failure, and deficient human nature of this entity or system that opposes God. It is a number of man, suggesting it refers to a person or a human system that opposes God. The second beast is frequently interpreted as a religious power or a deceptive religious system that supports and promotes the first beast. It uses its influence to lead people to worship the politico-world power and accept its mark, many associated with the false prophet. The mark of the beast and the number 666 are central elements in chapter 13. The mark, it symbolizes loyalty and submission to the beast and its system. The absence of the mark prevents people from participating in economic and social life. This can be interpreted literally as a physical mark, or symbolically as complete adherence to the beast's ideology and system, demonstrating submission in their actions, hand, and thoughts, forehead. The number 666, as mentioned, is the number of the beast's name. While there is much speculation, the most common interpretation is that it represents human imperfection at its fullest extent, contrasting with divine perfection. It is a symbol of total rebellion against God. Purpose of chapter 13. Chapter 13 of Revelation serves as a warning to Christians about the challenges and persecutions they will face in the last days. It reveals Satan's tactics, who uses political and religious powers to deceive, oppress, and lead people away from worshiping God. The main message is one of perseverance and faithfulness for the saints, who must resist the pressures to conform to the beast's system, trusting in God's final justice. It's important to remember that Revelation is a highly symbolic and prophetic book, and its interpretations can vary among different theological viewpoints. The core of the message remains the importance of remaining faithful to God in the face of opposition and deception.